All right, welcome to the Calvin Dean Show. Man, do we have a show for you today? Let's just label this one as the 2024 NFL Draft Frenzy Show. I mean, it's just getting nuts, guys. It's just getting nuts. I mean, there's a lot of guys who've been signing. The Colts signed it. They actually took the 3rd-year, 5-year options of these guys, and they're just re-signing who's been playing with them. And they're a very young team, very, very young. And, this is such a great time of the season, We're about, 5 weeks away from the 2024 NFL Draft. Free agency has cooled considerably after a hot start, man. And even some notable names still on the market, guys. Yeah, still on the market. A few unresolved possible trade situations. Hello, Brandon Ayuk, right? Talk about Pittsburgh Steelers and possibly the New England Patriots. I don't think you'd really want to go there. Pittsburgh Steelers, on the other hand, why not, man? Why not? They acquired a couple good quarterbacks. I mean, Russell Wilson, right? And then what? Oh, Mr. Justin Fields. Yeah. I mean, think about it, man. I mean, they're loading up. They are loading up. That's for sure. And now everything has changed. All the focus has shifted to the college talent. And everyone's looking at the pools. They have the power rankings, off-season version. Power ranking is meant to reflect some of what we learned about teams last season. Okay, that's what that is all about. Everyone goes, wow, what's power ranking? What is it? It's, and it's meant to reflect some of what we learned about teams last year. Just put that in your mind, right? And that's what the NFL Power Rankings is all about. And what's good about that, you learn where each team's weaknesses are and where you think they're going to go in the draft. It's a study, man, and you have to really get into this stuff. And, obviously it includes coaching moves as well, right? Some of which were not yet completed when we last took a stab at the league's pecking order, right? The league's pecking order. Basically QB and coaching upgrades make a big chunk of these rankings. They just do. Caleb Williams going to go to the Bears. That's huge. They acquired what? Keenan Allen and DJ Moore? Are you kidding me? Wow. That's just a huge wow. Really, guys. Just knocking it out of the park. I just love this show. It's just, draft is always good, The hierarchy, shake up, man. It's like my dog's shaking up right now. It's so cool, it's kind of neat. Everyone's going elsewhere. Saquon Barkley of the New York Football Giants, right? Where did they trade him? They traded him to the Philadelphia Eagles. Same division. Your best player. What do? You give him up to the Eagles. Oh, man. I'm sorry. That just blows my mind. I just don't understand that. Why would you do such a thing? At least get him out of the conference. Don't accept a trade with them. It just figures that New York screws themselves again. And who's still their quarterback? Daniel Jones. That's who. Oh, I think he's on that pirate ship, He's on the plank right now. Really, Daniel Jones is like halfway down the pirate ship plank. He's there. He's almost there, man. He's almost there. Let's give him some weapons, maybe a right tackle. Ooh, that would be smart. What? Wait a minute. I got a great plan. Why don't we take our best player, Saquon Barkley, our best player on the team, offensively, right? Let's just do I got a smart move. You know what we're gonna do? Oh my gosh, I got it. We're going to trade him to the Philadelphia Eagles, who is our arch nemesis. It's in our division. That's what we're going to do. I think that's a great plan. Oh my gosh, I'm telling you guys, wow, what a great plan. Wow, come on, man, really? I mean, wow. I'm sorry, guys. That just blows my mind. Blows my mind. Okay, guys, let's get to the power rankings for 2023 record. The Kansas City Chiefs, of course, number one. Number one. With Chris Jones staying. Come on. All that's left to figure out is the Jerry Sneed situation, and the draft, right? That has some pretty good feelings for the champs. I mean, these guys. I'm sorry. Mahomes restructured his contract so he can win more Super Bowls. Wow. I mean, I don't know. I just don't see these guys getting stopped. Maybe Baltimore. I think Baltimore's the only team I see at this moment in time. I haven't even really looked at everything, and I want to go see what the draft looks like with all these players, how a team acquired certain players or are still players in free agency that hasn't been picked up. I just want to see all this happen. And after the draft, you have until July 1st to actually sign the people who have franchise tags. You have to either that or the franchise tag stays. So that's a big thing too. So because these teams will know by July what team they have, right? And then they make a long-term deal for the guy on the franchise tag, right? Save themselves the first year. They'll save themselves. They'll give them a signing bonus, right? But then they'll save themselves a good, let's say it's a tackle, and they're making $30 million a year, right? So, they're really great ones. So what I'm trying to get at is that they'll pay off the first year as a signing bonus, and then you get $2.5 million. It's very small, but they give it out 5 years, right? So what happens is, within that 5-year period, they keep pushing the money forward, but then also, there's guaranteed money, and that guaranteed money, hits, usually in a 5-year contract, the guaranteed money starts hitting around year 3, and then 4, and then 5, So, and then just like Russell Wilson, right? Dead cap money is $85 million for the Denver Broncos. They're paying Pittsburgh. He's only getting $2 million for Pittsburgh, but he's getting $38 million from the Denver Broncos. So virtually, Russell Wilson is making $40 million this year. Oh my God! Oh my God, that just blows my mind. Wow. Come on. Really? Whew. All right. The Kansas City Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes hasn't yet been given a major upgrades at the receiver. Now, they just signed the Hollywood Brown. Downtown Hollywood Brown went from the Baltimore Ravens, right? The rookie season of the Lamar Jackson, remember? He had his, MVP, right? And was just unstoppable, and Hollywood Brown was the wideout for him. Now, they did have more of a running team then. He wanted to go to a passing team with Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray went down. He went down on injury. So, now he's, definitely healthy and a major upgrade. I think it's a major upgrade is Hollywood Brown. I mean, man, he's good. And just think, him with Patrick Mahomes, it's gonna be fun to watch, man. And that's just, whew. I think that right there, I think that's why the Kansas City Chiefs remain the number one team ranking. The number two ranking, of course, the San Francisco 49ers. The front seven was put through the blender. I mean, the blender in free agency, guys. Oh, my God. The Niners are swapping Eric Armstead, right? Javon Kinlaw, and Sebastian Joseph for Malik Collins, Jordan Elliott, right? On the edge, they're counting on Leonard Floyd, yet you're Gross Matos to replace Randy Gregory, Chase Young, and Clelin Ferrell. I mean, wow. I mean, Chase Young, he was a putz. Overweight. You could just tell he was overweight. You could just tell he wasn't the same Chase Young before he got fat. Chase, you got fat, brother. Man, you came to the Niners and you looked terrible. Dude, I mean, you used to be this muscle dude, but man, you just got fat. Your legs didn't look, like muscular like they used to. Man, they were just big, and you showed it, man. I watched film on you, brother, all last year, and I caught a bunch of times you were just lagging, jogging. Wow. Whew. Just blows me away. Good riddance, Chase Young. Good riddance, man. Oof. With those moves I just talked about, moves, maybe they're upgrades. Think about it. For Malik Collins and Jordan Elliott, then on the Leonard Floyd on the edge, Jos Matos, he's good too. I mean, I think they know what they're doing. The 49ers do know what they're doing when it comes to defense, that's for sure. They figure out how to add to their defense, and maybe a quarterback, Brandon Allen, returns as a backup to Brock Purdy. Brandon Allen, right? But a year ago, San Francisco aggressively added Sam Darnold, who is now a Minnesota Viking. Wow. It's funny. It's fun. Man, I tell you, number 3, the Baltimore Ravens. Yeah, Baltimore Ravens. Yes, number 3, 13-4, 2023. Awesome season. I thought the rankings of the Ravens first or second. I think I call the Ravens. I thought the Ravens would be in the Super Bowl with the San Francisco 49ers. That's what I had called. And I thought, I even predicted that Lamar Jackson would win the MVP before the 23 season, if you go back, and he did. He's just that good. And they just added, oh my God, Derrick Henry. Oh, with that offensive line, Derrick Henry, think about it. What happened was how Derrick Henry can really run well. He needs some time to get going. You know what I mean? And when he starts and he has that forward motion, oh, he is good. And that Raven line is one of the best offensive lines in football. It just is. And I just, I'm telling you something. These guys are real. For real, you know. They're entirely deserving a spot, a lofty spot, I think. It's either one or two. But I'm telling you, they've lost, plus replacing the Impact former defensive coordinator Mike McDonald, who left to head coach the Seahawks, is a finger snap operation. It's not a finger snap operation at all, guys. It just isn't. It is. Yes, Eric DeCosta and the great scouting staff have always seemed to find a way. Yeah. I mean, really, guys, really. I think they nailed it when it came to draft. Often, I think they really draft well, the Baltimore Ravens. I really do. They have a keen eye for reclamation projects, and they kept Justin Madubiki and Madubiki. I don't know, and added, of course, Derrick Henry. Still have Lamar Jackson, making, Mr. MVP Lamar Jackson, right? And I think they're really going to do well this year. I really do. I'm excited. I'm excited to see the Baltimore Ravens, and there's a lot of things going on with Baltimore, and there's going to be some surprises coming your way within the next week. And I'll tell you all about it. Losing number 4. Number 4, we have the Detroit Lions. They lost John Jackson to free agency, and saying goodbye to C.J. Gardner-Johnson. But it's hard not to smile at the value of the Lions appeared to receive by upgrading their defensive front and secondary before April, guys. Before April even came about. I mean, they are for real. I'm telling you, the Detroit Lions are for real, man. DJ Reader, Carlton Davis will help them immediately. I mean, and Marcus Davenport and Amik Robinson looking like possible upside bargains, man. I mean, just wow. And it was general manager Brad Holmes, he's just dangling that number 29 pick all day, along with the Chiefs and the Bengals, for either Janarius Sneed or T. Higgins, right? Just think of T. Higgins goes to the Kansas City Chiefs. Wow. That would just be lights out. Think about it. Hollywood Brown, T. Higgins, oof. Kelsey, oof. Wow. Yeah, Mahomes, unstoppable, right? Those feel like, that Detroit Lions, they still have a pie in the sky. They're just still dreaming, mind you. Some people think that. I don't think so. I think they're for real. I think they're legitimately for real, man. But even if the Lions had to add, let's say, a little sweetener to the deal, right? Like have extra third rounder this year, or 2022 trade for TJ Hawkinson to the Vikings. Remember that? Make it happen, Detroit. Yeah. I'm telling you something. Detroit is sitting pretty. And that's why they are number 4 when it comes to power ranking in the NFL, guys. I mean, I'm serious. They might be making a Super Bowl run pretty soon. I really think so. I think they're that good. Number 5, I'm giving it to the Buffalo Bills. Buffalo Bills lost Gabe Davis. I mean, wow. And some depth on their defense as well, which can't be grossly overlooked, guys. It just can't be, but free agent signee Curtis Samuel is an interesting replacement for Davis. It just is. Samuel has connections to both GM Brandon Beane, who was on the Panthers staff that drafted him in 2017, and the offensive coordinator Joe Brady, who coached Samuel for a year in Carolina, and can be used in different ways. Cash-wise, Buffalo will see a bit strapped through the draft, although Trey Devon White's release as a point, I think it's, he's going to be cut by June 1st, and will open up some more funds down the road. That's what they're saying. So that's the Buffalo Bills. They're number 5. Number 6, Philadelphia Eagles. What did we talk about? We spoke about the Philadelphia Eagles adding Saquon Barkley from the New York Giants, right? C.J. Gardner-Johnson, Devin White, and Bryce Huff. They were very busy this offseason, of course, because, Jason Kelsey retired. Great career, Jason. Great career. Congratulations, my friend. Congratulations. And, the Philadelphia Eagles, they're smart. I don't know what's going on with the New York Giants. They just always look off. Like I was talking about, Daniel Jones is on the plank. And unfortunately, he's put on that plank by the terrible, terrible GM of the New York Giants. Just horrific choices, guys. Horrific. And mind you, my last show, I had Kenny Pickett. I made a mistake. I said he was going to Seattle. He's not in Seattle. He went to Philadelphia. From Pittsburgh to Philadelphia. Oh, my. Wow. Oh, my. Oh, my. And what a slap in the face. Just think. But you know what? What I saw of Jalen Hurts last year, look at it, guys. Look at his record, right? What were 11-6, right? And they did awesome, and then all of a sudden they hit the skids, and they looked terrible in the playoffs. But, the thing of it is that there's some things that were missing. And what I just mentioned, those players they picked up. Now, Kenny Pickett, of course, he's going to be the backup, but don't be too certain on that. If you look at Mr. Jalen Hurts last year, and I know he has the contract, but come on, winning is winning, If the other team, it's a good pickup. Kenny Pickett would be a good, I like that. I like that move. Unfortunately for Kenny Pickett, I don't think Jalen Hurts will be stepping down. Hopefully he'll have a better year this coming year. Probably will. But Saquon Barkley's going to help that team big time. And then all their receivers, all the moves they've made. Barkley is one feels that most of the out of character for Philadelphia. Usually, it was such a great move. Running back traditionally has been valued high by the Eagles when it comes to their team building methods, right? But they saw a chance to be added to someone who is a premier playmaker. Wow. When healthy, of course. Ding, ding, ding. When healthy. While stinging a defensive stance against their division rival. Wow, New York Giants. Wow. Wow. It doesn't get better than that, does it? Well done. Well done. Well done, Philadelphia Eagles. Yeah, all right. Number 7. Yes, number 7. Power ranking number 7 goes to, I think these guys are dangerous. Number 7 goes to the Houston Texans, guys. 10-7 last year, right? It's been good start of free agency for the Texans. Even if they missed out on Saquon Barkley, pivoting right to who? Joe Mixon made sense. Oh my God. And a signee, Daniel Hunter, was the big fish that had to land. Man, they just had to land him. Even while losing some pieces to the market, keeping Noah Brown, Dalton Schultz also maintaining some nice continuity for the offense, right? Which can only help C.J. Stroud in year 2. Wow, that kid is just wow. He's wow. Also really appreciated a long-range version of dealing a first-round pick to the Minnesota Vikings, sliding down 19 spots from 23 all the way down to number 42. Wow. Allowed the Texans to upgrade their day 3 portfolio and add second-round pick in 2025 that could prove to be extremely valuable for the Houston Texans. There were temptation to say Houston needs to go full throttle after Stroud's breakout rookie season, but the Texans can't rush this operation, guys. No way. This is building, man. It's going to be back in the playoffs this year. And, it's only the stars limit, man. The sky is the limit. I think 25 for them is definitely going to be an upside. Now, the Green Bay Packers, I have to give them number 8. Yeah, the Packers are highly aggressive in targeting Josh Jacobs, man. Really, Xavier McKinney, and they still have assets, flexibility, that just more impactful moves. I think Jacobs' contract is essentially just a 1-year deal, reinforcing the idea that this is a team with Super Bowl aspirations. When they bring someone in like that and they pay them for the year, right? Guaranteed money for the year, over the league minimum, mind you, right? It sends a message, and Green Bay usually doesn't do that. But I think it's different now. I think that free agency and everything is way different with the salary cap going over another $30 million. I think that just really helps out the spending and flexibility and how these guys just move money around and kick it down the road, signing bonuses and all that good stuff. Secondarily, in an area, I like Green Bay to add some more talent back there. Several interesting options as well. Maybe some veterans. In the draft, I think both safety and corner is really needed for the Green Bay Packers. Other spots, maybe offensive line, defensive line, linebacker. Yeah, but I think the Packers are pretty complete. They have the wideouts. They're and then Josh Jacobs. And they have the tight ends. I think they're set offensively. And Jordan Love, the kid can sing it. I love that kid. Man, I was down on him in the beginning. But man, that's what happens when you give someone a confidence in sports. When you give them confidence, they shine. And I am so happy for Jordan Love because he had the naysayers. All the loving fans of Aaron Rodgers. I like to see him play. I loved seeing Aaron Rodgers play. It was fun to see him play. I loved it. Trust me, I did. But, he's just been turned in such a putz. That's how I look at Aaron Rodgers. I look at him as a putz. And, he just does. What he needs to do is, just show us if you can play some football instead of your mouth, because your mouth is just so. He reminds me of a broken down, pot smoking athlete. It does. He reminds me of that, and I don't know, drugs. Has he been tested? Has Aaron Rodgers been tested for drugs? I mean, because he took the psychedelics, he admitted to it. So is that against the league rules? If he took psychedelic, he admitted to it. I was just, I think he did. He was I think he talked about how he took some psychedelics at that camp. And he said, I have to come back and be a Jet. And tear my Achilles tendon in the first game. Oh, he's such a putz. Anyway, number 9 goes to the Cincinnati Bengals. They've been heavily, talking about Joe Buck, the tight end. Man, the upcoming return of Joe Burrow after his torn wrist ligament, but T. Higgins' situation keeps everything questionable. It's questionable. I don't know how this whole thing is going to end well for Cincinnati. Joe Mixon is gone, right? Cincinnati already lost a pretty big chunk of experience this offseason, right? They acquired the lights of okay running back. Moss, he did well in Indianapolis, but okay, guys, Moss did great when Taylor was gone and hurt, all right? He filled in, he did well. But soon as Taylor came back, who was starting? Was it Moss or Taylor? It was Taylor, right? And then Moss just fell off the table when it came to stats, right? And playing time. So what I'm trying to get at is that who was Joe Mixon? Who was Mixon? Who was he? He was a starter. He wasn't a backup. So what I'm trying to get, Moss is a backup, guys. So don't get so caught up with, oh, we got Moss. Oh, he did so great in Indianapolis. Look, remember, you ran so well. Well, in Indianapolis' offensive line is one of the best in football, very compatible to the Baltimore Ravens. So very almost there, almost, and that's how good they are. So that's how I look at things. I like the Bengals. Von Bell is back. I like that. I think he might play a bigger role during the. I remember the previous years in Cincinnati. It was like 2020, 2022, right? That he first realized that the group was a mess without him, man. And then Jesse Bates last season, right? No Bates on the roster, but rests the secondary, I think, should be better another year. I think if they play, together more. I mean, having a secondary, you have to play together. You just can't keep plugging in guys. You have to get a team back there that plays well with each other, and that's important. That's important, especially all the zone reads and stuff. So I think, Taylor Hudson might be a sleeper if he can fend off Mike Goletsky as a pass catching role. I think Hudson's a good pickup. But I hope is anyone that unless Higgins trades become inevitable. I think I definitely think Higgins will be traded. And I have number 10, and this is it, guys. Number 10 goes to the Dallas Cowboys. They've been like crickets this offseason, haven't they? I mean, they got rid of Pollard, right? But they haven't picked up anyone. The Cowboys have been lost in translation. They have, man, including 2 starting offensive linemen. Their starting running back. They lost people, guys. Like I said, 2 starting offensive linemen. They're running back, 2 pass rushers who combined nearly 700 snaps in 2023. Plus, the depth is losing. That's why I have them 10th. I mean, can Dallas fill all those voids simply through the draft? Even with the team currently set to pick at the ends of most rounds, I mean, given the limited salary cap space available, the Cowboys might have to make some cheap but smart veteran additions or 2 along the way, man. I mean, they need a running back, right? Should be the earliest to meet. That's the number one thing out of the draft. Even if it's year does not feature a banner draft class at that position, Dallas will have to just work and address other holes, right? I mean, it's understandable. Some Cowboy fans are really like hating life right now. I mean, they're like going, "What the hell is the Joneses doing?" Man, it's just I don't see them getting better. I mean, they were 12-5 last year. I have to look at their schedule. I called last year. I called the Baltimore Ravens their record. I called them, and I called the San Francisco 49ers their record before the season. I called out. I said, San Francisco's going to be 12-5. Yeah. I sure did, man. And then I said, Baltimore Ravens 13-4, and I had everyone going, 13-4, Baltimore Ravens. Yeah, they're going to win their division. Anyway, guys. So number 10 on the power rankings, the Kelvin Dean power rankings is the Dallas Cowboys, then the Cincinnati Bengals. Number 9, number 8, the Green Bay Packers. Number 7, the Houston Texans. Number 6. the Philadelphia Eagles. Number 5, the Buffalo Bills. Number 4, the Detroit Lions. Number 3, the Baltimore Ravens. Number 2, the San Francisco 49ers with Brock Purdy. And the number 1 power ranking for the 2023 record of 11 wins, 6 losses, and a world championship goes to the Kansas City Chiefs. All right, I can't wait, man. I mean, Taylor Swift, yeah. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Remember, subscribe, turn your notifications on, comment. And thank you, all my listeners. Kay, I have Nikki, and I have Anthony, and man, my brother Willie. I love you, buddy. Love you. Dean Blagg, yes, man. And I mean, go on and on. Jonathan, Stu, Marlon, Chris. Thank you, everyone. Gigi, I forgot. Hey, thanks everyone for listening. See you next week.